In the tumultuous night of September 1970, amidst a stormy backdrop, a perplexing scenario unfolded in Britain. A mysterious flying object, a wreckage of a lightning interceptor, and a pilot who vanished without a trace marks one of the most credible accounts of UFO interception in the country's history. In this particular case, the focus revolved around William Schaffner, an American pilot from the United States Air Force who served as an exchange pilot for the Royal Air Force. His role involved piloting the high-speed BAC Lightning interceptor aircraft. During a heightened phase of the Cold War, characterized by intense tensions, squadrons responsible for interception operations remained in a state of constant vigilance, ready to respond swiftly in order to prevent a potential assault by the Soviet Union. The urgency of the situation demanded that these interception units maintain a high level of readiness at all times. Schaffner was urgently dispatched to intercept an unidentified flying object detected moving erratically across the North Sea, closely monitored by radar stations from both the British and American forces. Shortly after undertaking this mission, Schaffner inexplicably vanished, adding a layer of mystery to the already puzzling circumstances surrounding the incident. The intact wreck of his aircraft was discovered resting on the ocean floor, its canopy closed, yet conspicuously devoid of the pilot. The mysterious disappearance of Schaffner remained covert for an extended period, inciting a plethora of theories and media conjecture. It wasn't until the commencement of the 21st century that Schaffner's family was eventually provided with the long-awaited revelations regarding the circumstances surrounding his vanishing. The revelation of these long-withheld details shed light on a story that had been shrouded in secrecy for years, putting to rest the speculations and theories that had pervaded the media and public discourse. During the tense period of the Cold War, Britain and its NATO allies maintained a state of perpetual vigilance, acutely monitoring the skies for any potential Soviet aerial incursions. The Royal Air Force pilots were poised and prepared to take immediate action, standing by to swiftly respond to any sighting of approaching Soviet aircraft. During the Cold War era, a fascinating and high-stakes dynamic unfolded between the air forces of the East and the West. This intense strategic maneuvering resembled a sophisticated game of cat and mouse, where both the Soviet and Western air forces meticulously documented and observed each other's reaction times and behaviors. During that time, not only were the skies filled with military aircraft, but they were also under the threat of unidentified flying objects, unique aircraft that neither party could recognize. Despite some sightings being attributed to logical reasons, such as weather balloons, experimental aircraft, clouds, and atmospheric anomalies, a number of other encounters continued to baffle the public, sparking curiosity and speculation. These unexplained sightings have captivated the imagination of many, with various theories and interpretations circulating in attempts to make sense of these phenomena. During the height of tensions, American, British, and Soviet aviators were swiftly mobilized to intercept mysterious and unrecognized aircraft breaching their airspace, with orders to engage and eliminate them if deemed a threat. In September 1970, the responsibility of investigating an unidentified flying object was assigned to an American aviator who was temporarily serving in an exchange program with the Royal Air Force. Captain William Schaffner, a proficient aviator and a youthful parent hailing from Ohio, was just 28 years old when he vanished without a trace. Schaffner's expertise in piloting was well recognized, showcasing his exceptional skills in aviation. During the Vietnam War, he dedicated his service to the United States Air Force before being assigned to RAF Binbrook in Lincolnshire, Britain, where he became a member of No. 5 Squadron. His experience spanned across different military settings, showcasing the diverse environments he navigated during his career. No. 5 Squadron operated the British Aircraft Corporation Lightning planes, specifically engineered for high-altitude Soviet bomber interception, renowned as the RAF's swiftest interceptor aircraft during that era. These Lightnings remained at a heightened state of readiness as integral components of the Quick Reaction Alert Force, primed to respond promptly in case the Cold War escalated into a nuclear conflict. The squadron's primary focus lay in deploying these cutting-edge aircraft for rapid and effective defense against potential threats posed by enemy incursions, aligning with the overarching strategy of deterrence that characterized the geopolitical climate of the time. On the evening of September 8, 1970, a Royal Air Force radar facility reportedly detected an anomalous craft flying in the vicinity of the British shoreline. Upon its detection, the movements of the unidentified object were meticulously monitored by the advanced early warning systems situated at RAF Fylingdales in Yorkshire, as well as the vigilant United States Air Force radar station positioned at Thule Air Base in Greenland. In response to this intriguing occurrence, RAF Lightnings and Phantom jets stationed at Binbrook and RAF Luchars in Scotland were promptly dispatched to intercept and investigate the mysterious entity further. Radars persistently monitored the unidentified flying object as it exhibited erratic movements along the English coast, fluctuating in altitude before eventually hovering near Denmark. The radar systems diligently tracked the mysterious aerial anomaly, capturing its movements as it traversed the sky. Schaffner ascended into his Lightning jet while it was in the process of being refueled, preparing to embark on a mission to track down the mysterious object. His designated call sign for this operation was Foxtrot 98. Additional Lightning aircraft, alongside an Avro Shackleton, were swiftly mobilized to pursue the unidentified object before eventually regrouping at their base of operations. On that tumultuous night, the inclement weather posed a challenge, yet the pursuit operation seemed to progress smoothly, despite the strange nature of the object being pursued. Upon their return to base, the RAF jets made way for another squadron to embark on the mission, only to realize that Schaffner's Lightning was conspicuously absent. The absence of Schaffner's aircraft raised concerns and cast a shadow of uncertainty over the operation. The mysterious disappearance of one of their own added an air of mystery to the already strange encounter. The Shackleton crew embarked on a mission to locate the missing Lightning aircraft, diligently scouring the area for any traces of its whereabouts. In the final documented interaction related to Schaffner, it was noted that the last communication took place with the control center located at RAF Patrington, which was actively monitoring the aircraft as it chased after the unidentified object. The communication exchanges seemed standard until Schaffner's last communication specifying the coordinates of the destination, after which the transcript indicated that no more radio communications were received from Schaffner, despite the control center's repeated attempts to reconnect without any positive outcome. This crucial moment marked a shift in the communication pattern, raising concerns and prompting the control center to intensify its efforts to establish contact with Schaffner. In the initial hours of the subsequent day, Schaffner's relatives received the distressing news that his aircraft had disappeared somewhere above the turbulent waters of the North Sea. Concurrently, the Royal Air Force swiftly mobilized a substantial operation involving divers, ships, and airplanes to conduct a rigorous search across the expanse of the North Sea, meticulously scouring the area encompassing the last known coordinates of Schaffner's aircraft. Following an inconclusive initial search, a breakthrough occurred on the 7th of October when the Royal Navy vessel, HMS Kedleston, successfully located the wreckage of the Lightning resting on the seabed near Flamborough Head, situated along the Yorkshire coast. Subsequently, in December, a crucial decision was reached to initiate the process of salvaging the wreckage as an integral component of the ongoing investigation into the aircraft crash. The meticulous examination of the site and recovery of the aircraft debris were undertaken with utmost precision and dedication, marking a significant step towards unraveling the circumstances surrounding the tragic incident. While Schaffner's burial site was ultimately located, the unearthing of his aircraft sparked a surge of inquiries and conjecture, surpassing the revelations it offered. Upon examination, the Lightning aircraft was discovered by investigators to be remarkably well preserved, exhibiting minimal harm to the fuselage, presumably incurred during its collision with the ocean. Despite the canopy being shut, there was an absence of Schaffner's remains, creating a perplexing mystery surrounding his whereabouts. The thorough assessment emphasized the overall structural integrity of the aircraft, highlighting the meticulous nature of the investigation. The remains of the aircraft were transported to Binbrook for an in-depth examination, initiating an investigation overseen by a Royal Air Force Board of Inquiry. In general, investigations related to a crash that includes a British aircraft or incidents occurring in the airspace of the United Kingdom would typically be under the purview of the Air Accidents Investigation Branch situated in Farnborough. However, in this particular case, the scenario was shrouded in extreme secrecy, especially considering the backdrop of the Cold War, leading to the Royal Air Force opting for a clandestine approach. As a result, the inquiry and examination were conducted covertly, shielded from public scrutiny, in order to prevent any unauthorized access or interference. The decision to handle the matter behind closed doors was strategic, aimed at preventing external interference. In this juncture, the initial inquisitive pondering swiftly escalated into intense interrogation, subsequently triggering a flurry of media chit-chat, ominous speculations, and intricate theories. The pressing queries emerged: the whereabouts of Schaffner's remains, the nature of the mysterious entity he had been relentlessly pursuing, speculations about possible Russian involvement, ponderings on whether he had been mysteriously vanquished or taken captive from his aircraft by a UFO he was fervently tracking. It was evident that the Royal Air Force had a legitimate reason for conducting a confidential investigation. However, the peculiarities surrounding the incident and the decision to withhold the investigation outcomes from the public and the family of Schaffner resulted in even the most outlandish theories appearing credible. The secrecy maintained by the RAF added fuel to the speculations surrounding the incident, fostering a sense of mystery and intrigue. In October 1992, the speculation surrounding UFO sightings gained momentum after a sequence of articles penned by journalist Pat Otter appeared in the Grimsby Telegraph. The articles, labelled The Riddle of Foxtrot 94, sparked widespread interest and intrigue among the public. Otter, starting his career as a budding journalist, initially reported on the crash incident as it occurred, and later asserted to have discovered fresh evidence related to Schaffner's vanishing back in the 1990s. With a riveting twist to the tale, Otter disclosed having been contacted by an individual who claimed to have been part of the Royal Air Force's investigative team. This revelation came in the wake of a publication by a local historian shedding light on the historical episode. Otter's narrative not only underlines his journalistic integrity, but also hints at a deeper layer of intrigue surrounding Schaffner's mysterious disappearance, adding a compelling dimension to the ongoing saga. In spite of Otter's initial skepticism towards the seemingly implausible account provided by the man, he decided that the narrative was too captivating to ignore. While opting to mention the source anonymously, Otter ultimately found the story too compelling not to share, and started to reference multiple individuals from within the RAF who purportedly possessed evidence related to the incident. According to confidential informants within the Otter community, the Royal Air Force has recently observed a rise in mysterious airborne entities traversing the airspace above the North Sea region. This surge in unidentified aerial phenomena has been particularly noted in proximity to several coastal towns and cities, including Grimsby, Cleethorpes, Scunthorpe, Hull, the Humber, and extending up to Flamborough. The report not only referenced an RAF pilot, but also detailed his account of the events surrounding Schaffner's crash. According to the pilot, on the fateful night, he observed a peculiar sight: a flying cone and a transparent sphere circling around his Lightning jet. This unusual phenomenon led to a series of disturbances, causing the aircraft's electrical systems to malfunction. The RAF pilot's testimony shed light on the mysterious circumstances that occurred during the incident, highlighting the perplexing nature of the events that transpired. The item, as reported by the pilot, swiftly moved at a speed of approximately 17,400 miles per hour and consistently eluded his attempts to catch up whenever he approached it. NATO subsequently instructed Royal Air Force pilots to sustain their patrols in the designated area as a precautionary measure in the event of the object's reappearance. Throughout the night, there were purported sightings of multiple unidentified flying objects, although they swiftly evaded capture by RAF pilots, preventing them from obtaining a clear vantage point for observation. Following the rise in coverage of alleged UFO sightings by numerous newspapers by the year 1994, Otter's articles gained credibility among different UFO spotting organizations. The crew of the Shackleton expedition initially believed that Schaffner had safely made his way back to the base. However, their understanding changed dramatically upon receiving a distressing radio communication informing them that he was actually missing. The publication of the investigation results has provided a rationale for the events that transpired. However, individuals passionate about UFOs persist in highlighting perceived deficiencies in the narrative, maintaining their belief that the inquiry fails to disclose the complete truth. UFO enthusiasts remain adamant in their stance that the information presented in the inquiry report is incomplete and that there are unrevealed aspects beyond what has been officially documented. So, what do you make of this unsolved mystery? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.